trust them. I'll never let them know anything. They can go to hell. But that's what they're doing. So these are common sense issues.
Yeah.
Democrats and Republicans, I'm sure, could agree that that's just absurd.
Yes.
But by voting for the Democrat Party, you're making, like I said, their religion is environmentalism. And that is part of their religion. And they're destroying the fabric of the city, of small business owners and homeowners.
Well, they want,
car owners.
not just with the paint issue, they want you to finish your basement so they can tax you more.
Right.
You know? This is ridiculous, and yes, I'm sorry to say, I think it comes more from the Democratic Party, is putting red tape everywhere. I've talked to coaches in public schools. They want to raise money for their students to have proper uniforms, but they can't do it a certain way. They can't sell the little candy and cookies anymore because they're not allowed to have sugar in school. And it's ridiculous. These people need to get the red tape out of the way so kids could get their uniforms and be able to raise money in a proper way. But that's just a simple thing that they put red tape on. This is always some type of thing and less government control, and that's what's going on right now with some of our Assembly and Senates. They adding red tape, and then they'll go and run for higher office, and then they'll come in and they use all that stuff that they built on that lower part of the office, and then they start building it and affecting the rest of the United States.
Yes, because basically the Democrat Party of today is not the John F. Kennedy Democrat Party, which was a union-based type of blue-collar worker trying to raise a family type of attitude. It's a Stalin party right now, and that's the problem, because their leadership in the Democrat Party at this moment are far, far, far left. There's no center people there no more. There's no common sense people. Like a John Fetterman right now is the only one of sense that is in the Senate or in Congress for that matter. And we need more people that are just common sense. We're not going to agree on every issue, of course not. That's why the differences of parties, that's fine. But the point is, to be so off the universe is this totally, and it's becoming, they control everything in this city. And that's the problem. And that's why we need people elected like you to fight against this type of insanity.
Well, you go look in Red Hook, another area of mine, the construction in the NYCHA houses are halfway done, but you would think it's only halfway done for a couple months. You'll go drive around there, it looks like. But I've been seeing it like that for 3 years. And what I think the budget does is they'll say, okay, we're going to fix this. And then people suck out the money by doing overtime and everything, and then they leave their equipment there and just move on, and they're not helping the community. The community says we want more lights, we want more safety. And these are things we need to focus on. Quality of life issues, not on other issues that is to benefit the federal government and the rest of the United States. That's what a lot of our politicians are doing now. I want us to work on our community and our safety. We got those towers on 65th Street. The garage is there, it's terrible. My friends live over there, and what they have is the elderly can't even get their cars. They have to park them at families and friends' houses, or double park on the street and worry about getting towed. And I remember when I went, this is what I recall, when I was at the City of Yes meeting over at Fort Hamilton High School, I said, what about the garages there? And one of the administrators over there mentioned to me that they wanted to turn it into a park. Then 5 minutes later, I said, what is this park? I'm thinking in my head. And 5 minutes later, they started saying, oh, well, these ideas are, that's not what we have in place right now. You don't supposed to, and one of the speakers said, you don't supposed to talk about that part of the package yet. So there's a lot more coming down the tunnel.
Well, what's coming down the tunnel is that residential parking. That's what they're pushing next. Parking permits. You think, oh, I'll park in front of my house? That's fine. I park in front of my house. Like I've done since all my life. Now they want us to pay to park in front of our houses. So people coming and visit for your birthday, good luck. They get a park at a meter. And what about you want to go to a different neighborhood and go to your doctor's? So now you have to go at a meter spot. and now, or a zoned area that they want to do. Don't worry, it won't happen. It will happen because the Democrat Party, again, ladies and gentlemen, controls every facet of every government in this state. There's nothing to stop them except you, and that's the voters. And you gotta vote these psychos out of office. But by staying home and being complacent, all Democrat, all Republican, they're just the same. No, we're not. We're not pushing for this garbage. Stop it. Wake up, be an informed voter, like I said before, be an informed voter. And realize, well, I'm only voting Democrat because this is what I was told. It's a democratic country, and I was told I have to be registered as a Democrat. That's not what that means. Wake up. It means, Democrat really means Stalin and friends, okay? That's what it is, they're communist, and they hate cars. That is their religion. They put these psychos in place, this mayor has put these whack jobs in place to go after the car owner. And who owns cars? Everyone owns cars. Immigrants, everyone owns cars. And they want to make sure they take your freedom away. And they love to do that. And what we'll do is, as a collective citizenry, we'll just vote them back in, won't we? And that's the problem with New York. We keep electing psychotic leftists. Why? Wake up, people. Wake up. That's all I have to say.
Tom, I must ask you that we believe that we don't want to be a politician like the politics we are watching in the city for the last many years. We believe that you'll be beyond politics, you'll be a common person, you'll look after the interests of the common people. It's a city of crisis. Being a journalist, I know it's a city of crisis. There is, as the gentleman says, that the crisis, there are parking crisis, there are homelessness crisis, there are housing crisis. And how you will solve all these crises once you'll be in office, number one. And, you know, parking, if we go to parking, and the gentleman is saying maybe we will need private permit in future. I've been to Japan many times. This city has a budget of $125 billion, and Pakistan, which my homeland, the $2–3 billion it runs all the country, and the city has $125 billion. Japan, they have overhead bridges. You know, 20 minutes drive from Brooklyn to Jackson Heights takes 1 hour or more than 1 hour. To Long Island City, 2–3 hours, maybe 2 hours sometimes, 2–3 hours to Long Island. So we need overhead bridges. I talked to Bill de Blasio, he don't understand. I talked to Eric Adams, he don't understand. I believe so, because we need some overhead bridges to lessen the burden of this draconian traffic and parking. So we need some drastic steps from a politician who's real from us.
Yeah, I'm aware of that, and I wanna know the truth why it's taking so long to do things. Just like on the Belt Parkway, the walking bridges over the Belt Parkway, they're halfway done. Why are they halfway done? Is it somebody wanting to make money and then they're going to reinvent the wheel and say, oh, let's get another budget out there? It's not right. And I've been in talks with people upstate that build roads that have to go through mountains, and design and engineers. These are the type of people who I would want to bring down here. People that have to go through mountains. Because that's kind of what we got with the Brooklyn Bridge on the BQE over there. We have to replace basically old materials and replace them safely and have the traffic continuously going through. I have a few other opinions on why they take some time on doing that, but and I'll talk to you guys personally about it after what we're doing here. And I'm definitely down for us to make things safer and open up these highways the correct way. You don't go and make it a 2-lane highway. We all know about that from Atlantic Avenue all the way up to Brooklyn Bridge. Putting a bike lane in the middle of the Brooklyn Bridge, you know? Why didn't they spend some time and figure out a way to engineer it to maybe another walking bridge across the Brooklyn Bridge for the top for people to walk, and then below people to ride bikes. If not, bring it over to Manhattan Bridge. Let the bikes go on Manhattan Bridge.
Well, this is what they want. Like I said, they're just totally crazy. It starts with Vision Zero. You think when de Blasio came out with Vision Zero, oh great, nice safety measures and all that. You go on, there is no vision because you can't see the lanes. They don't paint. I mean, how much money does paint cost for a freaking lane? You're driving on a highway in the rain or whatever, all of a sudden it's guess a lane game. Now you're like, oh my God, where's this lane? Where did it go? I can't see the lane anymore. And then you're hitting potholes. And you're like, well, this is what I spend all 100, well, this is in the city, 120, when Florida has a less budget of 115 billion, and they run the whole state, and you say Pakistan runs the whole country and far less. But here we are, wasting money, can't afford paint apparently, and this is what we get for the quality of our money, because where is it really going? Maybe to a Leering Center near you, okay? Because there's fraud involved, and people are getting paid off, and this is what's going on.
Some of the rumors I heard about by Atlantic Avenue is that some of those bigger buildings wanted less noise. So that's why they made the 2 lanes.
Well, look at Park Avenue. They want to make it smaller. Look, good luck if you're having a heart attack and you need to get an ambulance, and now you're stuck in stupid bike traffic because the lanes are narrow for the bikes. People got to wake the hell up and start voting for common sense candidates.
Eric Adams, commissioner, he spent more than $5 million on the Brooklyn Borough zone on only lights. I said, what you guys are doing, spend this money some proper way. So this gentleman is saying maybe they are doing, this is kind of bribery and stuff you're doing. You have to spend that money properly to facilitate the common people.
Yeah, and there's still there's no lights on the Belt Parkway. There's a lot of stretch of the Belt Parkway that's still dark since Hurricane Sandy. Don't you think by now they could have figured out how to wire these stupid lampposts already? They don't, because it's a waste of money. They like to waste money. And like they always say, oh, you don't love the children, you're cutting the school budget. How much money are we spending on the kids and they can't read, write, or do arithmetic? Wake up, people. It's not about money. It's about oversight and making sure the money is spent properly and that the job is done. You need oversight. You can't have psychos running taking the candy store over. The kids running the candy store. You're going to take all the candy and overdose on sugar, right? They're just going to keep on eating. And that's what we're doing with our government. And we, the voters, need to vote for oversight to make sure there's an independent commission, if anything, to oversight these agencies, because this is, we're supposed to have a controller's office, but they're all in bed with the same party.
Control the same thing.
Yeah, it's all corruption.
We need community centers back.
Yeah.
Where people actually go and spend the time maybe to teach the children to do the SAT, how to improve their SAT scores and everything, and not charging them their parents $3,500. Actually, in your community, is there people helping the students, the families in the community centers?
Yeah.
In other communities, they're not doing that, and people are getting charged $125 an hour to have their kids learn math so they can make it into these bigger school systems and everything. That's why we need the community centers. We need places where kids can swim. And gyms and workout and basketball after school. You know, I know that some of the communities around here actually have this stuff, you know.
So we need you to be really infiltrated in all these communities, like diverse community in a very proper way, because I saw the campaigns other politicians are running, they are really running a very, like Blake Bruceman is running a very good like digital campaign, campaign. And secondly, Kathy Hochul is running. But the same way, you should have a team who should run a real proper campaign till the November.
I will.
A real proper. Yeah.
Just like I love it. When I worked in the 6-1, the Sephardic community is very tight and very strong. I worked in the 6-6, and the Hasidic community over there is very strong, and I want to make sure all our communities are strong to stand up and be able to do what we need to do to bring our communities together and not fight in different directions.
What year did you work in the 6-6?
I met you there.
Oh, did you?
I was there around 2009.
I knew you gave me that ticket.
No, I never give.
I'm joking with you. I love this 6-6. I've been supporting them for
Everybody,
I have a question
Listen,
regarding the
listen,
crimes.
listen.
Mhm.
Everyone
Quiet,
is
quiet, quiet a second, guys.
keep
let me
keep
talk.
increasing, and you have an NYPD background.
Yeah,
So how will you handle the increase in?
well, we
crime
gotta
in
bring
New York
back
City,
the broken windows